but it's hard. And it's lonely. It's very lonely. I just know that if that loneliness can exist, so can other things, and I will be okay.
Rachel Zegler's career just got completely destroyed after shocking details were revealed. Get this. Reports now claim that her current Broadway show has plummeted to 0 ticket sales on certain nights, an almost unheard of situation for a name that once carried so much buzz. While the production itself has yet to release an official statement, insiders say the numbers reflect a massive drop in audience interest, amplified by growing public backlash over Zegler's recent drama. And to make it worse, reports seem to suggest that even Broadway has heard enough of her and that she might soon get thrown out completely. So now the question on everyone's mind is just how did Rachel Zegler manage to destroy her career for the second time in less than a year? Now, she was once hailed as a rising star with a golden path ahead of her. However, Rachel Zegler now finds herself at the center of a growing backlash, one that has taken a serious toll on both her reputation and her career. Dubbed by critics as the most disliked Snow White in Disney's history, Zegler's fall from grace has been swift, public, and now things have seemingly gotten way worse for her. You see, in a desperate bid to claw her way back into the spotlight, Rachel Zegler landed the lead in Evita at the iconic London Palladium, a stage reserved for legends, not comebacks. But instead of the dazzling reinvention she was clearly hoping for, things took a dramatic turn. What was meant to be her big moment quickly unraveled into an absolute mess. In a move that stunned theatergoers and set social media ablaze, Rachel Zegler decided to ditch the stage during a live performance and sing "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina" from a balcony to fans outside. Yes, while paying audience members sat inside, expecting the magic of live theater, they were left watching her performance on a screen like it was some kind of pop-up live stream. The backlash was instant. Outraged fans flooded Twitter and TikTok, calling the moment a slap in the face to those who had shelled out serious money for their seats. Memes exploded with critics mocking the bizarre decision and questioning whether Zegler was more interested in chasing clout than honoring the stage. What was meant to be a show-stopping number turned into a show-stopping scandal, and for many, it marked yet another misstep in what's quickly becoming a PR disaster of a career spiral. Now, what doesn't help the situation is the fact that ticket sales are plunging faster than anyone anticipated, and producers are scrambling to salvage what they can of the struggling show. So, in a highly unusual and telling move, some performances were quietly made available for free or shifted to a pay-what-you-want model. What was once billed as a star-studded theatrical event had now become a cautionary tale playing out in real time. Audiences who once paid top dollar were left fuming as seats were practically being given away. It wasn't just a financial blow to the production, it was a very public acknowledgement that the hype around Zegler could no longer justify the high price tag. And while some critics were still generous in their reviews, praising Zegler's vocal ability and stage presence, the compliments always came with a caveat. Her undeniable talent was being overshadowed by the avalanche of controversy surrounding her. Behind the scenes, the atmosphere was reportedly tense. You see, multiple sources began leaking details that painted a very different picture of what was really going on with Rachel behind the scenes. According to insiders, Zegler was difficult to work with, exuding an attitude that suggested she believed she was the most important person in the room, regardless of who she was working working alongside. For someone still relatively new to Broadway, this behavior didn't sit well with veteran performers or production staff. Crew members allegedly described interactions with her as frustrating and occasionally condescending, claiming she behaved as though her brief run of Hollywood fame had somehow placed her above the demands of the stage. One anonymous source even noted that it felt like she thought she was doing us a favor by being there. That sentiment didn't stay confined to the backstage halls for long. The tone-deaf public moments, like singing to fans outside while ticket holders were left to watch from a screen, only fueled the perception that Zegler was more concerned with optics and internet praise than the craft itself. Instead of endearing her to the Broadway community or repairing her reputation, these choices further alienated both audiences and insiders alike. Rachel Zegler, once seen as Hollywood's next big thing, is now navigating a career crossroads where her talent isn't in question, but her humility, professionalism, and self-awareness are. In an industry where reputations matter as much as ability, the stage she once stood on proudly is now a mirror reflecting the consequences of hype gone unchecked. Now, everybody knows Rachel Zegler's reign as Disney's live-action Snow White has turned into a full-blown PR catastrophe, and the numbers were just as ugly as the headlines. Despite the studio's hopes for a global fairy tale success, the film stumbled at the box office, pulling in just $184.9 million worldwide since its March 21st release, a staggering miss when compared to its reported $350 million production and marketing costs. The film attempted a modern, progressive reimagining of the classic Brothers Grimm tale, but the gamble didn't pay off. Critics have largely panned the remake, giving it a bleak 40% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes, while fans offered mixed reactions, a decent 72% audience score, but a disastrous 1.6 out of 10 on IMDb from over 343,000 users. That kind of fan rejection is rare, and it signals more than just disappointment. It reflects deep frustration with both the film's messaging and its star. Instead of generating buzz with charm and charisma during the press tour, Zegler ignited wave after wave of backlash. She repeatedly criticized Walt Disney's original 1937 Snow White, calling it outdated and problematic, dismissing the classic love story and Prince Charming altogether. Her remarks didn't just rub Disney loyalists the wrong way, they were seen by many as tone-deaf and disrespectful, especially coming from the actress chosen to embody the studio's most iconic princess. But the controversy didn't stop there. Zegler refused to take down her controversial tweet that divided audiences during an already sensitive time politically. Then she went viral again for cursing former President Donald Trump and his supporters, wishing that they would never know peace. The comment, shared across social media platforms, only further alienated viewers, drawing fierce backlash from conservative and centrist fans alike. The combination of poor box office returns, negative audience reactions, and escalating off-screen controversies has cemented Zegler's Snow White as one of Disney's most infamous live-action flops. Industry insiders are now questioning how the film ever got greenlit with such an aggressive rebranding, and whether Zegler's career can recover from the fallout. Anyway, Rachel Zegler's rise, and now her very public reckoning, has become one of the most talked about cautionary tales in Hollywood. Once embraced as the next industry darling, she now stands at a crossroads, her Golden Girl image tarnished by controversy, missteps, and a growing sense of audience fatigue. Her story sparks a deeper conversation. Is Zegler simply a young star caught in the relentless machine of fame, or has her own hubris played a part in her unraveling? The answer, as it so often is in Hollywood, isn't simple. What's clear is that Zegler's downfall didn't stem from a single scandal, but rather a slow accumulation of poor optics, tone-deaf interviews, and questionable choices, both on and off stage. Her attempts to modernize Snow White might have been well-intentioned, but the delivery came off as condescending. Her decision to sing to fans outside the theater while paying audience members members watched from a screen wasn't just bold, it was seen as a slap in the face. These moments, compounded by backstage whispers of diva-like behavior, painted a picture of a young actress who perhaps began believing her own hype too soon. Now, she finds herself in a dangerously delicate position. She hasn't been exiled from the industry, but she's no longer Hollywood's brightest rising star either. Casting directors are cautious, studios are watching, and audiences, they're wary. The cheers have been replaced by critiques, the red carpet flashes now tinged with skepticism, and yet the door isn't fully closed. If Zegler can read the room, if she can show genuine humility, accountability, and a desire to grow, there's still room for redemption. The industry has seen stars fall hard and come back stronger, but it requires more than talent. It requires timing, self-awareness, and a willingness to recalibrate. Right now, Rachel Zegler's career teeters on the edge. Whether this moment becomes her dramatic fall or her compelling comeback is entirely up to what she does next. One thing is certain, Hollywood is watching, and it doesn't wait long. As Rachel Zegler attempts to weather this stormy chapter of her career, all eyes in the entertainment industry are locked on her next move. What was once a starlet on the rise narrative has now twisted into a tense waiting game. Will she redeem herself or continue to slide into irrelevance? Her story is more than just a personal reckoning. It's a spotlight on the brutal truth behind Hollywood glamour. Fame is fleeting, and the higher you're hyped, the harder you can fall. One moment you're being handed lead rolls and golden statues. The next, you're watching ticket sales plummet and your name trending for all the wrong reasons. Zegler's fall from favor hasn't come from scandal in the traditional sense. It's been a slow unraveling, fueled by awkward interviews, alienated fans, and a string of misread moments that left the public with more cringe than charisma. She spoke out, yes, but whether her outspokenness was bravery or arrogance is now up for debate. In a town where image is everything and timing is everything else, even a misstep in tone can cost you your crown. And now, Rachel Zegler finds herself in a strange limbo. Not quite canceled, but certainly not celebrated. The girl once poised to carry Disney's next fairy tale is now the subject of memes, backlash, and industry whispers. She's become a symbol not of talent squandered, but of how fast the machine can turn on you when the narrative shifts. Her next chapter will be critical. Does she double down, go quiet and regroup, or find a way to reintroduce herself with grace, humility, and something to prove? Whatever she does, she's now a living example of a cold Hollywood truth. The spotlight can light you up just as quickly as it can burn you out. And when it dims, you're left with nothing but the harsh glare of reality. So what do you think about this drama? Let me know your opinions in the comments. And don't forget to check out our other stories. Celeb, till next time, bye.